where champions play.
One of the premier volleyball facilities, the Pauley Pavilion on the campus of UCLA in West Los Angeles, plays host to Pac-12 Women's Volleyball, presented by Tachikara. The Oregon Ducks come in for a late season matchup against the UCLA Bruins. Hi everybody, Kevin Barnett along with NCAA champion Holly McPeak. And Holly, we're getting down to the end of the season here. It seems like the season is endless until you look up and realize there's only a few matches to go. With 2 weeks to go, is this a must-win for Oregon?
Well, right now, Oregon is 12-12 overall. They've got 5 matches remaining, 4 at home, and this one tonight. You have to win or qualify for the NCAA tournament with 500 or better, so this is a very important match for them.
Let's take you inside the setting position for this matchup. For UCLA, it is a freshman at the controls, Zana Muno.
Zana Muno took over the reins of the UCLA offense just a few weeks ago for Ryan Chandler. Very athletic, great indoor and outdoor player for UCLA, getting really comfortable running this UCLA offense. The last 2 weeks, she's been the Pac-12 Freshman of the Week with her performance.
On the other side for the Oregon Ducks, it's a lot more experience, but only because Zana's a freshman. It's the sophomore Maggie Scott.
I love to watch Maggie Scott run the offense. She gets herself in a position to set the most difficult set. No matter what, she makes all her hitters available, gets low, runs the middle when necessary, and really makes this Oregon offense go.
Interesting for Oregon, they've gone to a 6-2. That's something to watch, that change in the offense. Do the Ducks fly home thinking postseason, or is it time to relax on the pond and think about 2016? First serve coming up, Oregon and UCLA.
Your local Nissan store and choosenissan.com.
Beautiful campus of UCLA. If you get a chance to visit the LA area, stop by. Check out sports and whatever they have going. Welcome back to Pac-12 Volleyball, presented by Tachikara. And let's look at our starting lineups, also presented by Tachikara. First for the Oregon Ducks and head coach Jim Moore. The opposite, Martine Beck, important for his offense.
She is the key, but Lindsay Vanderweide is just a freshman carrying a huge load, 6 rotation player for Oregon.
Ducks 12-12 on the other side. Mike Seeley and UCLA 20-4 in Seeley's 6th season at the helm. Kyra Rogers, a recent addition to the starting lineup.
Kyra Rogers worked her way into the opposite spot, providing a lot of nice quick offense on the right side for UCLA.
Teams on the floor, Ducks in their green, UCLA in black. And we are about to get underway in this Pac-12 volleyball matchup. Back to serve first will be Maggie Scott. She is the sophomore setter you learned about earlier out of Wildwood, California. Or Montana, pardon me. Try and move Wildwood.
I think MO is Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri.
You'll get it.
My apologies. I'm moving Wildwood all over the place. Missouri. Why does that say California? Little backslide action, nice dig by Scott. Oregon in transition, huge stuff block, one-on-one, Jordan Anderson.
That is one of Jordan Anderson's strengths, one-on-one blocking on the left side. She gets all of that for UCLA.
Anderson, the transfer from West Virginia, part of a mass exodus from that program when their head coach left for TCU. Here's Carly Drolson in to serve. Every team employing some defensive specialists that are always vital. Scott sits the outside. There's the dig. Backslide, another dig for UCLA. Can they get a swing this time? Roll shot wide, point Ducks.
3 digs in a row for UCLA that they could not turn into nice looking or a nice looking attack in transition. That's something they need to do better against Oregon.
Here we go. First ball, man.
Into the middle, count that kill. Number 10, Jenny Frager.
Jenny Frager stronger this year, better hitting range, good one-on-one kill out of the middle.
Prager hitting 305. She will head off, and back to serve will go Taylor Formico in her second season with UCLA, the UC Santa Barbara transfer. Nice back one connection with Casey Nady via Maggie Scott.
Well, it starts with a perfect pass, and then Maggie Scott so good at isolating Casey Nady in the middle with the quick set.
Nady, the junior out of San Diego, getting close to home. Not going to try and move San Diego to the middle of the United States. Touch there. Count that kill for Jessica Namo.
Jessica Namo flat with some pace on it, gets a touch off the Oregon defense.
Has this been a bit of a surprise season or a sneaky season for UCLA so far, number 3 in the Pac-12?
Well, I think they're having a good season. They knew they were going to have fantastic ball control, big stuff block. Zana Muno and Claire Felix for UCLA.
Oregon in negative territory. Couple of huge stuff blocks already for the Bruins. Kyra Rogers to serve. Listed as a middle blocker, playing some opposite. And that one goes long from Sumit Gill. Speaking of freshman players already on the court.
Sumit Gill inserted into the lineup. Coach Jim Moore wanted her to kind of have a learning season, but with the injuries, she's in the starting lineup.
Lindsay Vanderweide gets that kill. That's a freshman. The increasing role of freshmen in the Pac-12. Is that a surprise to you?
No, because the junior ranks, they're playing such a high level of volleyball, and they're coming in with some nice experience, and you see the physicality of these freshmen.
Oregon returns the favor. Lindsay Vanderweide with a stuff.
Number 8 in green, Lindsay Vanderweide, one of the best freshmen in the Pac-12, gets way over for Oregon right there. Sumit Gill with the assist.
Oh, diving save. Can Oregon get it back over? They do. Benson. Back outside, a touch, but no good. UCLA and Namo.
Good hustle by Oregon to keep that ball alive. But look at this layout. I believe that's Bettendorf that kept that alive for Oregon.
Rachel Inoue will serve for the Bruins, number 16. Inoue, a senior out of Hawaii. There's Gill, and Gill is an offensive threat. That is her strength.
She's so quick, makes herself available. Both setters for Oregon make it happen. Doesn't matter where the pass is, hitter comes to the setter, and I think that caught UCLA by surprise right there.
August Rasky in the back for Oregon. Good jump serve, handled by Formico. Benson just there. Both teams a little out of sync. Down the line kill, Frankie Shebby out of Monterey Day High School in the Los Angeles area.
Dig on this tip, that's a little too high, but Amanda Benson keeps it alive, and then Frankie Shebby down the line for Oregon.
Shebby hitting in the 140s this season, has struggled a bit with her percentage as that swing goes long for Lindsay Vanderweide.
You talked about UCLA. The reason I'm not surprised is because their ball control, first ball contact is so good. I think that's what makes a team go. Offense is secondary.
Boy, look at the effort in the back row. What a stab by Inoue. Oregon running it down also. Good roll shot on a free ball. Shebby snaps it into the middle of the court.
That ball should not drop against UCLA. Little tentative on defense, but down ball should not drop.
Whose ball is that?
Inouye's.
Here's Amanda Benson, the junior libero. Her coach cannot say enough about what Benson brings to that position. Snap inside the block, Jordan Anderson.
Heavy arm by Jordan Anderson. She is the hardest hitter in the gym for UCLA. She's early on the way down, but the arm saves her in the cross court.
A whippy arm coming from Jordan Anderson. Just a junior out of Flower Mound, Texas. Mike Seeley will get a couple years of Anderson. Right side kill for Taylor August. And August has performed admirably over the last few matches. She's been on a tear as of late.
Taylor August very good on the right. Quick offense, provide some physicality for Oregon over there.
Second match in as many nights for Oregon. 11 kills and 381 for August last night against USC. As that one is touched, count the point for UCLA. Back-to-back match nights. Jim Moore saying, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm not going to worry about it. But what are some of the realistic challenges this team faces?
Well, here you see Jordan Anderson high off the hands, but you have to prepare for two teams back-to-back. One, USC is the number 2 team in the country. That's who they played last night. Then you have number 9 the following night with no practice time in between to prepare.
Missed pass there, and the ace serve counted for Carly Drolson. That's 13 aces for the senior.
Right now you see Oregon serve receive. They're only using 2 passers. Coach Jim Moore has so much confidence in these 2 players. They're passing the entire court.
That's a freshman out there, Vanderweide, who has the left side of the court. Side out ducks off that 2-passer system. What is the advantage, you think, to going to a 2-passer system?
Well, if you've got the personnel who can cover and pass well, there aren't communication issues because you've got the whole court and it's just 2 of you.
That used to be the standard, was 2 passers for many years. Seen the move to 3 over the last 15 or so years. That ball high over the top, and a net violation called against the Ducks. Tight first set. Kevin Barnett, Holly McPeak sitting courtside here at Pauley Pavilion. Hope you're enjoying some Pac-12 women's volleyball presented by Tachikara on a Thursday. Look at Jim Moore. Into the middle, another nice dig by the Bruins. They've been playing some defense in this first set. Confusion there between the defenders, Scott and Benson. Ball shanked out of bounds.
Both players right there, frustrated. Amanda Benson should take that. She's the libero, and then Maggie Scott can run the offense.
Here's Formico once again. Good touch by the block. Nearly a pancake. No, that ball called down.
Martine Bettendorf with the kill from the right side. I love the talk on the Oregon side. All the hitters calling for the set. They all want the ball.
12-10, set 1, UCLA up for the moment. Good pass by Formico, perfect, and a little bit of a slow developing one there in the middle.
Yeah, but Kyra Rogers was a middle blocker in club, so she usually hits on the right now for UCLA, but has a lot of experience hitting the quick, coming around from the right side to the middle.
Double quick that time, backslide available along with that quick hit by Rogers. And there's Gill, backslide this time at 1 foot, but right next to the center.
Samik Gill with 1 in front of her. Look at the quickness here and the altitude. Lots of space to operate. Claire Felix late getting there.
13-11, Oregon hanging tough, needs a couple of points. Good serve. Here's a chance. Good high swing, Vanderweide. Benson has to come in for the bump set. Oh, what a catch on the backside. Rally of the match. Both teams fighting it off. That one off the block and out of bounds. Point Bruins.
Wow, good defense on both sides of the net. Looked like Oregon was going to win that rally, and Jessica Nalmo made some good cover plays and comes up with the kill off the block.
Oregon just in that rally dropped their hitting percentage by some 60 points. Give you an idea how long that rally was here in set 1. Gill handles it overhand. Boy, the Oregon offense all over the place. 3 hitters on the left-hand side of the court. UCLA are right back the other way with Jordan Anderson. One of the things UCLA mentioned was that diversity of offense for Oregon. Can the Ducks, who trail by 5, get back in this first set?
It's back. LA, Sunday at 11 on Pac-12 Network.
Pac-12 Women's Volleyball is presented by Tachikara. We've got the ball, you bring the game. Good look at the Bruin Bear out there by the Wooden Center. These UCLA women will be in action on Sunday inside the Wooden Center. Here tonight, they lead in set 1, 15-11 as they come back on the court. Kevin Barnett, Holly McPeak courtside. Hope you're enjoying volleyball presented by Tachikara. Good look at Jim Moore there in his 11th year. Said it's been one of the weirdest seasons he's ever had.
Well, just managing talent. He's got some new young players who've really stepped up. Just trying to figure out ways to win. And when they were struggling in rotations 4, 5, and 6, that's when they decided just recently to go to a 6-2, and it's been working.
Defense from Formico, and UCLA converts. Jordan Anderson having a heck of a first set. Already with 4 kills on 5 swings.
Jordan Anderson's got that heavy arm, and if she has some room to operate, she will hammer that off the inside blocker's hand all night long.
16-11 here in set 1. Timeout for Oregon. Let's take a look at Oregon's tournament resume as our thoughts turn towards the postseason. UCLA, you have to believe they've done enough work. They are in. For the Oregon Ducks, one number's jumping out at me, 68.
RPI is important when you're a bubble team, and with the record right now that Oregon has, 12-12, they are a bubble team. RPI, you want to be in the top 64, but if you want to be safe, you need to be up in the 30s. So that might hurt them unless they can pull out a winning record.
Oregon's missed out on a few opportunities. Jim Moore saying, if this game was played to 22, which who knows, maybe in a few years it might be, because volleyball's played to any other sport you can think of, they would be a tremendous team, but it's 22-25 where they've had issues.
Well, the stat that jumps out in my mind is deuce sets. The amount of deuce sets that they played 20 now. They're 3-17.
Ooh.
And that's, those matches can go either way. Those sets can go either way, and they're not going Oregon's. Maybe
this is the good story for Oregon, because UCLA was a similar type team last year. They were playing more than 70% of their matches. They were playing 70% of their sets were deuce sets, and they were not coming out on the positive side often enough. So UCLA has been the team that has closed this year, 20-4 and 11-3 inside Pac-12 play. Part of that big 3 at the top, Washington and Stanford, the only 2 teams ahead of the Bruins. Out of the timeout, here comes Rachel Enoy. All her numbers have been up this year. Almost 2.5 digs per. Here's another opportunity. Anderson crushing the ball. What a whip on number 2.
Love Jordan Anderson's arm swing, but it starts with defense and then a good transition set by Zanamuno, able to put that ball down deep middle.
So a first set that looked to be off to a better start for Oregon than last night is quickly fading away. UCLA misses that serve.
Well, last night when Oregon played USC, they struggled in the first set, but were much better in the second, third set, and led both of those sets.
17-24-21 in the sweep. USC victorious, maintaining their one-loss record on the year. 26 wins to go along with that one loss. We mentioned Taylor August having a great night. Samit Gill also had a fantastic evening. Vanderweide was a bit off, 9 kills on 24, but not a bad night for her either. But tough when you face what UCLA can throw, or USC can throw at you. Free ball, more chance for points here for UCLA. Middle kill, Jenny Fragger.
Good range, Zanamuno running the middle. Jenny Fragger's been very good. 2 blockers in front of her, still able to hit that sharp angle.
Jim Moore up off the bench. Some words for his young setter.
When we talked to Coach Michael Seeley, he says playing Oregon is tough. They have a very intricate offense, really hard to chart. Talked about his assistant, Tony Kerr, statting the match and trying to prepare for this Oregon match. Not easy.
Getting a late call, I think, from Tony Kerr, saying, I don't know what to do with this. I'm just making lines on a piece of paper. There's no patterns. So what do you do if you're a coach? Do you reduce the amount of scouting you do? Do you concentrate on your own side a little bit? What do you do with Jim Moore?
Well, I think you work on your side of the net. Kind of go, they run everything from everywhere, be ready, but let's focus on our side of the net.
Fast set to the outside, that time to Frankie Chevy. Chevy, who was 3rd on the team last year with 2.5 kills per set. She's been a little off this season.
But 3 for 5, actually 4 for 6 so far tonight for Oregon.
So a nice start for Chevy. And an amazing start for Jordan Anderson. 7 kills on 8 swings.
And this is just the first set. The pop on Jordan Anderson's ball is heavy. You can hear it from here.
No one told Jordan Anderson it's a long season. Coming over from the Big 12 out of West Virginia. She has proven ready for Pac-12. August high swing, looking for hands, and putting it in over the top of the block.
Taylor August finds the deep corner. She's been really good down the line. Hits a nice high, quick ball.
Oregon with a shot this year, but Taylor August and others are part of what will be a scary Oregon team moving forward.
Well, great recruiting class last year and this year, as well as some very physical kids coming in. And you are to see these physical freshmen and sophomores contributing at a high level.
Perfect dig by Formico. Turn and swing, Martine Bettendorf. Make it something of a second contact.
Transition offense, and then Martine Bettendorf, number 18, ends the rally for Oregon.
All Pac-12 last year for Bettendorf. Here's Maggie Scott. Oregon looking for a little momentum. Free ball opportunity. Chevy. That one had a little side spin on it, but still drawing them in. What a first set for Jordan Anderson. 8 kills, 9 swings, and 1 awesome stuff block early in this set.
The ball is set a little bit slow out to Jordan Anderson, so she has to hang, but the heavy arm and the sharp angle and kill.
Timeout number 2 called by Jim Moore, who's watching his team struggle here in this first set. UCLA, in particular, Jordan Anderson really taking the Oregon Ducks out of their rhythm.
Well, UCLA hitting .452 as a team. Those are amazing numbers because their average on the season is .241.
Well, if your best hitter is going .889 on 9 swings, it's crazy. As we look at the standings in the Pac-12, you see the teams that are ranked there, 6 of them right now inside the top 25. And Holly, playoffs start today. Is Oregon in? Where is the cutoff here? They're just eligible at 500.
I say they're in. If it's today, they're 12-12. I mean, these teams below them, I mean, Washington's, it's tough, but I would say Oregon's in if we had to make that decision today.
Last season, 10 teams from the Pac-12 entering the postseason tournament, all 10 winning in that first round. How much does that play into the mind of the committee if you have a division or a conference like the Pac-12 that had 10 teams, won every round? You have other conferences that had 6 or 7 representatives who lost in the first round, every single one of them.
Well, I think it's a good statement for Pac-12 in the future. They're going to want to let a number of teams in. This is one of the best conferences in the country. Why not? I think this Oregon team is very talented. They're young, but very physically talented. I like the defense they play. I like the quick offense. Their future is bright. This is just a rebuilding year.
Set 1, 22-15, UCLA in control. Mitty with the pass, and the set over is good from Maggie Scott.
Maggie Scott had 3 hitters, and she called her own number. I like it.
You have to do it from below the level of the net. Scott in the back row did it. Here's Frankie Chevy.
She is feisty.
Net violation called against Oregon. That one's going to go against Van de Weyde.
UCLA consistently controls that first contact, giving Zonamuno lots of options offensively.
2 points away from a set 1 victory. Formico at the line, serves short. Van de Weyde tips, and UCLA continues to play good defense here in this first set. And now we have a net violation going against UCLA.
I'm not sure who touched the ball. I know Zonamuno was trying to get that ball out of the net. I don't know if it was her or Jessica.
That ball to the outside, good pace on it. Good pace on the swing as Scott goes into the media front row.
Jessica Namo has done a great job for UCLA. She's come off the bench in several matches this season and put up really good numbers on the outside.
Nama with 4 kills, hitting .400. Set point number 1. Back row. Formica, what a dig. Cover is good for UCLA. That ball's in. Tip over the top, finds the floor.
Wow.
Despite everything Maggie Scott did, it wasn't enough in set 1. 25-17, UCLA is victorious. 8 for 9. Jordan Anderson powering the Bruins. They are up 1 set to none.
Switch today and ask about a $300 reward card. Time Warner Cable.
UCLA, first set has gone their way. 25-17 as you get a beautiful look at the LA area. You want to know how the first set went? Here it is. 8 for 9, 889, and a stuff block. That's a nice line for Jordan Anderson.
Jordan Anderson with the heavy arm on the left side. Boom, she is getting up. Huge stuff block, and then lots of cross-court kills from the left side.
Even the side spin was working. Kevin Barnett and Holly McPeak sitting courtside as we look at the stats. 472 as a team will win you a lot of sets.
Absolutely. Oregon hitting a little bit over their season average of 242. UCLA season average 241, almost doubled, 472.
What's the prescription for an Oregon comeback here in the second set?
Well, for one, they need to put more pressure on UCLA. UCLA is passing the ball perfect, able to run their offense. If you can hit 472, that means you're not struggling in serve receive at all.
Look at that number there, 19-0 when winning the first set. Things looking good for UCLA. Jordan Anderson looking good in that first set. And for Oregon, maybe you try and shut down Jordan Anderson just a little bit. What do you do to stop number 2?
Well, I guess you can have a middle blocker committing to try and stop her, but I think getting UCLA in more passing trouble, so she's not always in system in a good rhythm.
Jordan Anderson, part of a few players that left West Virginia. Nikki Atia has been in a starting role for Arizona, playing well down there in Tucson. Second set underway here at Pauley Pavilion. And underway with a UCLA block. Jenny Frager.
Jenny Frager didn't even have to move on that one. She was a little bit late, but her press over was perfect for the UCLA block.
Frager, 18 stuffs. That's second on the team for the season. Make it 19 now. Chevy. UCLA barely handles it. Chevy again. Roll shot this time, Formica. Oh, the volleyball purists didn't like the back set, but that was doable.
Watch this. Actually hit by Frankie Chevy. Formica libero for UCLA keeps it alive, but Frankie Chevy ends the rally for Oregon.
Formica, 5th in the Pac-12, digs per set. That ball long, good communication for Formica.
UCLA
passing back there with Drolson.
Yeah, UCLA only passing in a 2-person serve receive. Riley Bushler has been out, and without her, that's what they're doing.
Bushler available tonight, we were told, but not playing, has not been training, as Bettendorf gets that kill. What would you do if you're Mike Seeley? You have your sixth rotation player out there, Riley Bushler available. Would you put her right into this match?
Well, if she hasn't been training, probably not. I know she played half a practice. That's it. I would rather bring her into the match for a few reps, get her back in, but I'd like to get her back in some reps in practice first, and they have next week to do that.
There is Mike Seeley. Remaining schedule for UCLA, they'll have Oregon State on Sunday right here on Pac-12, and then at ASU and Arizona at USC. Then they will host Stanford right after Thanksgiving to finish out the season. 3-3, set 2.
Kyra Rogers with her 4th kill. That one out of the middle. It's got some nice diversity. She can hit on the right, the middle. She can hit it from anywhere.
Service goes long. There's a look at Rogers. Freshman out of Roseville, California. 6 foot. At 6 foot, a middle blocker. Are you a little undersized?
You're a little bit undersized, but if you get up like Leanna Sibelden and you hit a quick ball, you do your job, I think it works.
Sibelden, part of that Washington team, the most balanced team I've seen in Pac-12 play this year. You always have coaches talk about balance, but you rarely see it. In Washington, you truly see that they can hurt you any one of 4 or 5 ways in an evening. They still have to face the Oregon Ducks once again this year. There's that Jim Moore offense.
Freshman August Raskey to Taylor August for the kill.
I would like Jim Moore to wear a lab coat for some matches. I think he should carry around a beaker, something with some dry ice coming out. He does some experimenting with offenses that nobody else in the Pac-12 is doing.
I like it. It's fun to watch. It's probably fun to play.
Bump set from Formico is tight. Smartly done with the left hand.
Wow.
Anderson with another kill.
Well, that just appeared to be what you call a trap set. Nowhere to go, but Jordan Anderson goes up big with her left hand and wipes the ball off the block for UCLA.
And her 9th kill on 10 attempts. Another good touch by Frager. No swing for Oregon. UCLA now struggles to get back. And the first error of the match for number 2.
That ball set well off the net. Jordan Anderson didn't have a very good angle to attack for UCLA.
Anderson tips over the top. So after that error, she gets the ball right away and is into double figures, 10 kills.
During this entire play, UCLA's running the offense. You can hear Taylor Formico telling everybody where to go, making sure they're covering. She's such a great floor leader for UCLA.
Whew, getting on the ball is Chevy. Now, Jordan Anderson is as much of a good start as she's gotten off to. What about her knee pad placement here? Are those shin guards? Are we playing soccer here?
Am I old or what? I used to wear my knee pads on my knees. She's got them on her shins.
Well, you also used to have about 4 inches of padding on those things, the bubble pads, the turtle shells. You're going to have to ask Jordan Anderson about that. Good work by the UCLA block once again. 4th stuff block.
This is a trouble play. Ball coming over her shoulder. Kyra Rogers and Jenny Frager all over that.
7-7. Interestingly enough, at the beginning of this match, very few errors for both of these teams. They're not putting the ball out of bounds. Just 3 for UCLA and 5 on the Oregon side. You'll sometimes see 6, 9, even 10 in a set. UCLA block doing work. There was a net violation in there somewhere, uncalled. And that ball finds its way just over the block.
Good defense on both sides. It's just what they do with the dig. Who's getting a better transition set and attempt? That time, Oregon.
So for the second night in a row, Oregon playing better in the second set. It was a deuce set last night against USC. We'll see where it takes us here against UCLA. Frager with the kill, crossbody.
Well, you see the consistent passing by UCLA right in Zana Muno's hands. Jenny Frager, only one blocker in front of her. She's got a lot of range.
Now here's Frager hitting 750, but only 4 attempts. Maybe I'd like to see the ball snuck in inside to the middle a little more often. Fast overhead, Bettendorf. Oregon known for their speed.
Yes, I love this quick set from Maggie Scott to Martine Bettendorf on the right. Look how fast and flat that is. Jessica Namo there, but the ball turned to angle.
There's the tip. Formico on her knees, 10 feet from the ball.
Well, Oregon's continuing to not serve the ball tough enough by the nice short shot over the block. Taylor Formico slipped on defense.
Service long.
I feel like with two-person serve receive, you can really make them work. You can't serve the ball right to them, and Oregon's not doing a good job of that.
That was Lauren Page, who has had a foot injury early part of this year, the sophomore. Van de Weyde stretches out for that one. One-on-one, pretty good matchup for Van de Weyde.
Absolutely. The pace of the Oregon offense is going to get them lots of isolated plays where they're one-on-one to put the ball away.
Another missed serve for Oregon. Back-to-back misses, keeping UCLA comfortable, trailing by 1.
And the hottest hitter on the night so far, Jordan Anderson, back in the match for UCLA.
Rachel Inouye in the back row as well. Inside once again, a whole bunch of offensive traffic. What does that do to an opposing block?
Well, it puts a lot of pressure when Maggie Scott can run multiple quick sets. She's got 2 quick hitters coming. And then Lindsay Vanderweyder on the outside.
August inside. Here's August, who has collected 9, 10, and 11 kills in her last 3 matches and never hit worse than 273. Overhead, cut off the net, and good. Frankie Chevy having a good match, hitting well over 300, 7 kills, 17 swings. Homecoming. Chevy started at Mater Dei. And a net violation. So Chevy managing a swing. How much of volleyball is about managing tough situations?
A lot, because you're not ever going to always have a perfect play. It's making good decisions when everything's not perfect. And that time, Jordan Anderson was stuck inside trying to block that ball. Net violation.
And de Weyde jump serve, misses.
I feel like her toss is a little bit too low. She's unable to get to the ball and on top of it before it drops.
So your prescription was more service pressure. Oregon trying to apply it, but lately missing. Pass to the outside. Chevy continues an excellent second set. Frankie Chevy and the Oregon Ducks 15-11 in set number 2. They've rebounded 10 points away from tying us at 1 set apiece.
My name is Corey Close. I'm the head women's basketball.
UCLA Bruins. You're watching Pac-12 Los Angeles.
School spirit on a Thursday inside Pauley Pavilion. Those UCLA headbands, very nice. UCLA had a good first set. Fans were excited. Now here in the second, a little extra cheering to do to try and get their team back in it. They trail by 4, 15-11. Good to see the mascot getting in on the action. I think we had the bear for an interview at one point, just in part of our segment.
I like that.
Out of the timeout, Oregon looking for another point. Fast to the outside, stuff block.
UCLA with their 5th team block. Doing a good job defensively at the net.
Frager and Muno out there. Frager having a complete match. Already 3 blocks to go along with 3 kills, hitting 750. Muno, nice defense. That ball coverable, but close to the net. Point, Oregon.
Lauren Page, number 6 in the middle for Oregon. She's had a stress reaction in her foot, but now back in. Good press over with her left hand. blocking that angle.
Saw her creeping over, kind of cheating that play out to the right side. Already looking to that side, picking apart the hitters. UCLA stacked on the left. Oh, looking for the line, but missing Jordan Anderson, who's cooled off just a bit. Now UCLA with the timeout, 17-12 here in set 2.
Now this is an area that Jim Moore, the coach for Oregon, has really emphasized. They are not finishing matches. This has been their problem. Can they do it in the second set?
Don't forget, unique to volleyball and intermission after the second set. And at intermission, Katie Boggs will be in studio. She'll update you on Arizona versus Colorado. Wildcats taking on the Utes, and the sports report update. Of course, lots always happening inside the Pac-12. Good slate of fall sports. Basketball just getting underway. Football still going. Women's volleyball heading towards the postseason. Soccer as well.
Good time of year, especially as a volleyball player and fan. This is the time of year I look forward to. Thanksgiving weekend when they announce the bracket, and then from there on out. It's fun.
Field of 64 coming up, 32 automatic qualifiers into that field, and then they have to fill in the other 32. Always lots of discussion as to how things fit together. And if there's one factor you'll hear coaches like Mike Seeley of UCLA talking about from the start of the year to the end of the year, it is the RPI. The NCAA will tell you that's not the thing that matters, but don't tell that to any coach that coaches in the NCAA.
That's true. Well, you learned a lot about the RPI on a conference call last week, but RPI is basically strength of schedule. Who you play, who you beat, who they've played, and there's a ranking system. And if you're a bubble team, I believe RPI comes into play.
I've heard RPI said if you're much outside of 50, you're really in trouble. Oregon at 68. Some question marks for Jim Moore. Mike Seeley looking good with his UCLA Bruins. It's been kind of a wild ride for Mike Seeley. In his second season, wins the national title. Amazing fourth in program history. 2011 was the year. The following 2 years later, 11-11 outside the tournament as Oregon gets an ace serve out of that timeout. 18-12. It was 15-15, missed the postseason. And then last year they lost in the regional semifinal to eventual champion Penn State. So right back were Mike Seeley and the Bruins. Big swing from Anderson and a block. So back-to-back points out of the timeout for Oregon, and they are rolling.
Well, an ace and then a stuff block on the left side. Good close by Lauren Page. She's done a good job defensively for Oregon.
Ace serve once again.
Well, Oregon's totally turned up their serving, really making that two-person serve-receive move for UCLA.
A foul second set continues for UCLA.
So smart.
Timeout called by Mike Seeley. So right out of the timeout, Oregon scores a couple of points and forces another timeout. They did it with blocking and serving.
You're right. Serving was key, getting UCLA a little out of system. And then look at this ball. Cross court, tags the line. Maggie Scott with a beautiful serve cross court.
All right, UCLA trailing 20-12. The odds are against them when it comes to winning this set. What is a good score? What is a score that says they can carry some momentum into the locker room at intermission, hopefully bring it back in the third? 25 what?
Well, I don't think you ever want to give up, but I also don't think there's a number. I just think you need some momentum on your side. So you need to side out here, score some points, and make a push at the end of the set.
If you're a fan of volleyball, don't forget that Wednesday is another key women's volleyball match of the week. In its first match of a final four-game homestand, Oregon will face another key conference test against Washington State. The women's volleyball match of the week, Wednesday at 7:30 on Pac-12 Oregon, or watch on Pac-12 Now and pac-12.com. That is one to watch. If you think Oregon has to have this one against UCLA, they absolutely must have that one against Washington State.
They need to win as many as they possibly can, and this is one of their last 5 opportunities.
Well, that is because they are 12-12. You must be at least 500. That is an NCAA requirement to be eligible for the postseason. Throw out the rest if you aren't at 500. Oregon trying to get to 500 in this match. And UCLA just trying to get a little momentum back.
Well,
20-13.
they were able to pass perfect and run their middle. Jenny Frager, 4 kills on 6 swings, hitting .667. They need to get her the ball more with those kind of numbers.
A lot of cross-body swings from number 10.
Here we go, first one, let's go get it.
Here's Carly Drolson. A couple years ago, Drolson was the libero. Backslide, Martine Bettendorf.
Martine Bettendorf finding some space between the UCLA blockers. And Maggie Scott, the quickness of her set creates some space for her hitters to operate.
Another double quick from Jim Moore and that diverse Oregon offense. Frager stopped for the moment. All 3 hitters getting a swing in this rally for UCLA. That one goes inside and gets a touch off the left arm of Namo.
UCLA's offense a little slow and just not attacking back at Oregon, giving them another chance to go cross court for the kill.
Oregon has a team hitting .429 in this set and up to .344 for the match. Now out hitting UCLA, who's at .302. Seam, kill, Namo.
Good arm by Jessica Namo, number 22 from Australia. Getting some good playing time, pops this ball deep through that seam.
Coming in, only played 18 of the 82 sets, but lately has been getting a long look from Mike Seeley. Lawless on that right side, good touch. Does not get the ball, tip into the middle. Felix, so there's some changes for UCLA. Here's Lawless, right side, high and over.
Coach Mike Seeley talks about Haley Lawless just dominating in the practice gym, but says she's better coming off the bench.
Injuries in 2012 and 2013, ending her seasons, had 100+ kills last season. Block for the Bruins, here they come. They may not make it all the way in this set, but definitely momentum swinging back their way.
Hey, you never know. Oregon struggles at the end of sets, and UCLA knows that big.
What's the score?
Yep.
22. Jim Moore said that's the number right there. And I tell you, I don't know about their manners as far as the Oregon team goes, but maybe a little bit of finishing school is needed here when it comes to the end of sets. But so often you hear that from coaches. I hear it from Dave Rubio in Arizona.
Exactly.
With his team, they're not able to close sets. Is it something that these teams are not doing, or is it the quality of their opponents in this conference that plays part of that role, perhaps?
Well, I think it's taking the foot off the gas. You push during the set, and you kind of relax. You're almost there, and then a team can catch momentum and sprint back.
How do you get into a team the ability to close? How do you change that?
Well, for me, I think practicing little short games. And how do you get there first? How do you finish? Because that's what it takes. It's 3 or 4 points and staying aggressive and making good decisions. So it's little small games to 5, tied at 20-20, down 18-20, and how do you come back and win? Put them in that situation.
Mike Seeley and UCLA had not won in his tenure in Eugene. That match in particular looked like Oregon was going to make a match of it, and UCLA came back big.
Yeah, and Jim Moore still probably has sleepless nights because his Oregon team out-hit till 22 this UCLA team by 100 points, and then all of a sudden the wheels fell off and UCLA fought back, and what Mike Seeley says is emotional regulation, and that's what his team does well. They're just steady, confident, and patient.
28-26, 29-27, sets 3 and 4 the last time these two teams met in Eugene. Mike Seeley picking up his first victory there. Can they do it again? Will Oregon give away a set? And to wide to Doug. Martine Bettendorf to 23.
Beautiful set, quick and wide, allowing Martine Bettendorf to attack the line.
That ball tight, Namo pokes it. That one could have been called, not hittable. Van de Weyde across court, no good. So another point for UCLA, 23-17. Emotional regulation, one of the things Mike Seeley, as you mentioned, said about his team. I can't count the number of sociology majors on this team. Maybe that has something to do with it. A lot of people who are studying and learning and applying their schoolwork right here on the floor for the Bruins.
Well, and you've got some senior leadership. I think that really helps.
Fast to the outside, pushing that ball, dug by the Bruins. Ooh, nice bump set by Formico. Tough swing. Samit Gill is there.
Oregon doing a good job, especially in transition, blocking the left side for UCLA.
Set point number 1 for the Oregon Ducks. The lefty, August Raske. Short, a serve for the set. So you asked for more serving, Holly McPeak. Oregon gave it to you.
Better serving, better blocking. Oregon was executing at a much higher level in that second set.
That one falls off a shelf. Raske, the freshman setter out of Colorado Springs. Jim Moore saying she was frustrated by not playing earlier this year. Now she's a big part of what's happening in that 6-2.
Well, she's very athletic, very competitive. She asked to get in this lineup, and it worked. They needed her.
So the Oregon Ducks get back on track in set 2. Coach Moore of Oregon, thanks for joining us here as you head off to intermission. Your team struggled through that first set. UCLA kind of got control, but you guys came right back with a ton of service pressure. What'd you say in between set 1 and 2?
Serve tougher. It worked. I mean, yeah, we have to serve tougher. I mean, they're a great ball control team, and we had to serve tougher. And we probably missed too many, but they went after it, and we had to do that. So we had to serve tougher.
I feel like there were some defensive adjustments as well. What were those?
Well, we moved Amanda to left back because nobody else was digging any balls over there. So we moved Amanda over to left back and away from middle back. So hopefully she dug some balls in that set.
Coach, good job in set 2. We'll see you in set 3.
Thank you.
Jim Moore and Oregon tied at 1 set apiece here visiting UCLA. Hope you're enjoying some good volleyball here on a Thursday night. This is one that matters for the postseason. We'll see you after intermission. Enjoy Katie Boggs with an update on everything that's happening in Pac-12.
You're watching Pac-12 Los Angeles, home of the UCLA
Store and ChooseNissan.com.
Good evening and welcome into our San Francisco studios. I'm Katie Boggs with your Pac-12 intermission report. With 10 Pac-12 teams on the court today, let's take you to a couple matches that went to 5 sets. Head coach Dave Rubio, 19th ranked Arizona Wildcats, on the road taking on the Utah Utes. First set, Utah's Adora Nye gets her 400th kill of the season. But Arizona comes back for that one. We go to the second. Haley Amaro finishes off the set with that kill. Wildcats lead 2-0. Set 4 here, Kendra Dahlke drops the ace inside the line, sends this game to 5 sets. Arizona up here in the 5th. Khalid Mao stuffs the Utes at the net. Wildcats hold on to escape the win. And the Colorado Buffs host number 21 Arizona State tonight. First set tied at 25. Gabby Simpson, big swing right here. Finds the floor. Buffs would take the first set 27-25, but lose the second, and we go to the third. Sun Devils up. Bianca Ariano gives a quick set to Whitney Follett, who gets the kill. ASU takes that one, but the Buffs come back, and it's match point in the 5th. Nicole Edelman catches the defense sleeping. The Buffs pull off the upset. And Samantha Bricio just broke a new record in their win against Oregon State tonight. She's now USC's all-time career kills leader. We'll get you back out to Westwood in a minute, but first, your sports report update is next.
Best seats in the house for your favorite LA sports.
Pac-12 women's volleyball presented by Tachikara. Identical scores in sets 1 and set 2, 25-17, 25-17. One set for each team as we come out of intermission. We're joined by head coach for UCLA, Mike Sealy. And Mike, okay, you guys split 2 sets pretty evenly. Give me the deciding factor here in the third set skill-wise. What have you seen through the first 2 that's going to be the factor here?
You know, they're a great system team. We obviously got to serve tougher, hit some better spots, a little bit more difficult on our trajectory just to get them out of system. If they got 3 hitters flying in, they're pretty hard to stop.
What can you do in serve receive to put yourselves in a better position to get your middles involved?
Besides pass better? I don't know. No, you know, I think we definitely want to get the middles involved. There's times they're releasing on Claire, so, you know, they got 2 blockers out there. We can go the other way one-on-one, but just overall volleyball skill.
Thanks, Mike. Good luck in this set.
You got it.
All right, Mike Sealy in his 6th season. As we look over the Oregon side, and Frankie Chevy, number 4, 9 for 20, hitting 400. This is the kind of play we're used to seeing out of number 4.
Well, we saw her in CIF finals just 2 years ago for Mater Dei, and she was pretty darn awesome, having a good night so far.
These stats through 2 sets looking a ton more similar than after that first set.
UCLA hit a blistering 472 in the first set, slowed down tremendously, .088. The numbers for Oregon creeping up, but pretty balanced. As you said, 25-17 for UCLA the first set, 25-17 the second set. The third set will be telling.
It was 2012. So it was 5-5 down the stretch. We'll see where the momentum sits here in set number 3 as the Oregon Ducks retake the floor. Oregon Ducks sitting at 500. Frankie Chevy, 9 kills, 5 digs. Good performance so far in the homecoming for the Southern California native. And UCLA, Jordan Anderson, who had a torrid first set. 8 kills on 9 attempts. Collected just 2 more in that second set. So we'll see if Anderson can get back on track and if UCLA can get back to their winning ways from set number 1. Set 3, Maggie Scott will get us underway just as she did for the start of this match. Number 3 in green, Kevin Barnett, Holly McPeak, courtside in West LA. Thanks for joining us here on Pac-12 Network. Outside, Anderson trying to get on track right away and missing. Now do you go right back to Jordan Anderson again? Do you repeat setter off the top?
Well, Caitlin Southers splitting the hitters, putting Jordan Anderson on the right, Kyra on the left, Rogers, she can hit left or right, just trying to give him a different look.
A different look indeed, as Kyra Rogers gets the swing on the left and the kill.
Oregon keen on Jordan Anderson on the right, allowing Kyra Rogers some space on the left.
You heard both coaches talk about service pressure. Oregon, 3 aces to go along with 6 service errors, 3 of those belonging to Lindsay Vandewaide, who's a dangerous server yet to get on track. For Mike Sealy's team, just 1 ace, but just 2 errors. Maybe a little more risk for UCLA in this set. Chevy, another kill.
Frankie Chevy having a great night for Oregon, 9 kills, elevating. Definitely a big hole in that block for UCLA.
That ball tipped over the top. Bettendorf, not quite there, out of bounds.
Good location tip by UCLA. Martine Bettendorf ran across the court, just couldn't bring it back into play.
UCLA with 1 ace, Formico to serve. Interesting thing about the service game of UCLA, they don't have a player in the top 10 in the Pac-12 in aces per set. But as a team, they sit 4th. So pretty strong all-around serving.
But no one dominant ace server.
No Samantha Bricio. Tip here from Vandewaide finds the floor. Who should be picking that ball up?
Well, the defense is deep because she can attack that line. It's pretty well executed just over the block, but if the block can turn and touch it, that would be helpful.
Well, UCLA struggling to get some good swings early here in set 3. Getting a kill anyway is Kyra Rogers.
Kyra Rogers does a good job getting all the way inside to put that ball away for UCLA. Not an ideal place to attack from against a big block.
Mike Sealy's group a little out of sync early on, still tied at 3. Here's UCLA with a shot. Namo, stuff, block, Bettendorf.
Martine Bettendorf, 6 foot opposite senior from Portland, Oregon, with a huge block. But in the middle of the rally, the linesman had his flag up. I'm not sure what the call was.
Oh, and Jim Moore is unhappy.
The linesman was waving his flag early in that rally.
So this one's going to get taken away from Oregon, and if Jim Moore's not careful, could have another one. Jim Moore saying that's not okay. Going back in a rally. I don't know, there's no challenge flag to throw down here. You did mention, Holly, the good catch by you that flag went up and that during that rally.
Watch the linesman in the corner, in the back of the screen. He's calling that the antenna was attacked or hit by the ball. You see him waving that early.
Let's go right now.
Now give it to UCLA. And pounding it wide is Bettendorf.
Martine
what a change of events.
Wow, pounded that ball down the line just wide. Oregon frustrated losing that point.
Jim Moore prowling the sidelines, looking like something bigger than a duck. There's Bettendorf with the kill.
Great isolation, another fast set to the right side by Maggie Scott.
I like the intensity from Bettendorf. She kind of took it off right off the floor, but the intensity after that kill was there from 18. One of the leaders, the senior opposite. Martine Bettendorf, probably a future in volleyball for a few years if she wants professionally. Kill to the deep corner for Namo.
Jessica Namo getting on that ball quick on the left side. Good position, too, to the corner.
Before this match, we were talking with Jim Moore about some of the ex-Ducks that are still playing all throughout the world. He's very proud of the fact that a lot of his players have gone on to play professionally, are still in the game.
And playing at a very high level. A lot of players playing overseas professionally, a few in China. We talked about Sonia Newcomb and Alana Rush.
Elena Bergsma as well.
Elena Bergsma, excuse me.
A lot of opportunity out there. Jim Moore has put a lot of volleyball talent through the University of Oregon in 11 seasons. Of course, you remember just a few years ago, 2012 title match. The Ducks going down to Texas. Chevy skips one off the tape. There's the Jordan Anderson. Maybe she's just on the good side now. Is there a breeze blowing across the left?
No, she just got a ball in a good location, big seam, and hammers it through.
Jordan Anderson second in the Pac-12 when it comes to kills per set, and over 400 points, leading the Bruins in her first season in Westwood. Taylor August, not to be outdone on the right.
Beautiful kill. Fortunately for her, Jordan Anderson was already up in the air and on the way down by the time she hit the ball.
Looking for the roll shot. Right, that ball out of position, how much of that error lays on the setter, how much of it lays on the hitter?
Well, that's a tough, you want to put up a hittable ball. That's your job as a setter, and that is a really tough ball for Jordan Anderson to put away.
Now she'll get another shot right away. Seam, and that's just raw heat. Benson able to get her hands on it. But Anderson with a heavy ball.
Well, that time Zonamuno gave Jordan Anderson a ball where she could put it away in a good spot. What I call hittable. Zonamuno, first year running an offense like this, and she's learning.
Chevy, high swing with some heat.
Well, we knew she was physical this time, making some good decisions. Big block in front of her. Frankie Chevy hits that ball flat for her 10th kill.
Chevy hitting 409, came into this match with a 146 mark. There's another tough serve from Oregon, saved by UCLA. Smart play, Kyra Rogers. Can you make that shot as a freshman? Shouldn't that just get called because you're not old enough to have that shot?
Well, I don't know. Let's talk about the save by Zonamuno, the setter, to put up that ball, and then Kyra Rogers was trapped, nowhere to go. Tools that block.
Wisdom beyond her years on that play. Stuff back in the face of Martine Bettendorf.
One of the things Coach Mike Seeley said about Jessica Namo, she's on her blocking assignments every time, and you see her get on the ball, press over, beautiful block.
Terrific look at it there. See if Bettendorf can recover. Chevy stopped. Frager.
Jenny Frager was a little bit late closing, but pressed over in a good spot. Frankie Chevy trying to go cross court. Look, you see Frager kind of making a late move. That ball might not have even cleared.
UCLA with a bit of an extension here. First team to make a break in the third set. Beautiful dig by Drolson. No swing for the Bruins. Ooh, fast pass. Quick to the net. That foot's not bothering her anymore. Lauren Page.
Lauren Page, another very athletic freshman for Oregon. Quick, nice attack. 2 blockers there.
Right side, stuff block, Vanderweyde.
Lindsay Vanderweyde, beautiful execution. She gets her feet out there, way over the net, right on the ball for Oregon. Huge block on the left side.
Another block for the Ducks, back to back.
Oregon definitely doing a better job defensively at the net.
3-0 run for Oregon. French fries on the board. Kehoe. Crossbody, Oregon's all over it. There's a wrist away. Benson is there too. That ball tipped, and it's too late for pancakes. Can't have breakfast for dinner right now. 12-11 Oregon.
Both wing diggers for Oregon, Maggie Scott and Amanda Benson, came up with some big digs. That ball hit the ground.
That ball did hit the ground. And another one hits the ground. No one around that one. Bettendorf, who's apparently recovered from the earlier headshot.
Well, good scouting report. Oregon knows what's open right behind that block. Short tips falling for Oregon.
5-0 run for Oregon. Make it 6. If you're Mike Seeley, timeout now?
Yes. But
he has another option. He'll go with a substitution to slow things down, will Mike Seeley. And back in comes Riley Bushler, who has been listed as day-to-day. Well, today is the day she's back in the lineup.
Little adrenaline rush on her side right now?
Well, we will see. Vanderweyde inside, Doug. Bushler. First swing is good.
Well, that worked out well for UCLA. Riley Bushler has not played all night long. Comes in and gets her first kill off her first swing.
Outside hitter, just a sophomore out of Del Mar, coming off a stellar freshman season. A serve. So the Bruins right back. Formico with that serve. Taylor Formico, third on the team in aces. That's 18 on the year for normally number 11, now number 12 tonight, if you're watching closely. How about back-to-back? Not quite. Oh, that ball's a little high.
Rhythm. Right now, UCLA offense lacking that rhythm. Coach Mike Seeley talking to Zana Muno.
Setting is key. 15-13 in the pivotal third set.
Sunday, determined Oregon Friday at 4:30 on Pac-12 Los Angeles, or watch on Pac-12 Now.
Pac-12 Women's Volleyball is presented by Tachikara. We've got the ball. You bring the game. What is that, 3 a.m.? in West LA. There's no way there's that little amount of traffic in LA. Marine Layer creeping in, and Oregon creeping in on a 2-1 lead, perhaps. 15-13 as the teams have kind of traded runs here in the third set, Holly McPeak.
Well, UCLA has 6 hitting errors in this set, hitting .080, and Oregon executing a lot better, hitting .263.
Mike Sealy and his team just down by 2. They took the first set 25-17. Second set went Oregon's way 25-17. We'll step inside. Another tough opportunity on the right for Kyra Rogers as that one goes wide. Oregon now up by 3.
UCLA has 3 hitters available to them if they can pass the ball.
They cannot, and they do not get a swing. Bettendorf, she likes that line. Formico pulled one out of her pocket on that play. Vanderweyde works off the hands. Oregon flying.
Oregon's got 3 good, viable offensive options. This time, Lindsay Vanderweyde, the freshman, number 8, tools the block.
17-13. Roll shots, smartly done by Kyra Rogers.
Kyra Rogers able to find a little sliver open down the line for UCLA.
Down by 3, here's Rogers. Bad pass for Oregon this time, and that one goes long.
UCLA needs to make a scoring run right now.
Jim Moore's team up by 2. Remember, finishing has been the issue. UCLA lets them off the hook there. Keep an eye on Oregon as we creep closer to that 22-point mark. That has been the magical number, or the cursed number, perhaps in this case, if you're an Oregon fan. So switch at setter, August Rasky in the back. Bushler, big approach, good touch by the Oregon block. That one's going to go over the stand and out of bounds. August.
Every time I look at the Oregon front line, I'm like, they have 3 great offensive options and they have great setting. They're able to run all those options. Taylor August with the last kill for Oregon.
19-15, Oregon with the lead. Just too much heat from August. Look at Mike Sealy and his staff this year. Some changes for his staff. Caitlin Nielsen in her 3rd year, but full-time assistant. Tony Kerr in his first as a full-time assistant, second with the program, and then brought on Nick Vogel. Forced retirement for Nick. He's on the left side of talking to Mike Sealy right there. Terrific middle blocker at UCLA. Went on to join the national team. Was on the beginning part of what looked like a promising international career, but a heart defect. Unfortunately, doctors recommended he quit his career just a little bit early. But this staff has a lot of fun on the road. They play a little game called Van Roulette when they have to have vans on the road. And so they're trying to decide who's going to go where. So they draw cards for the players. And if you get a heart, you're in with Mike Sealy. Caitlin has diamonds. Tony is the club. And the director of ops, Kaylee Thurlby, is spades.
Ooh, I like that.
So that's one way you can decide who's traveling with who. No clicks.
I was a graduate assistant in, gosh, I'm not even going to say the year, but I drove one of the vans, and we kind of did a similar thing, but not that advanced.
Nick Vogel didn't have a van. I suggested, well, maybe you throw a joker in there. If you need a 5th car, just, okay, you're with the joker. Green face paint, maybe some ratty hair. Think about it, Nick. Tell you what Nick's thinking about right now is a UCLA comeback in this 3rd set. Oregon solidly in control. But this has been the story before throughout this season for Oregon. In control of a set, only to watch it slip away. 19-15. Looking for a 2-1 lead. The deep serve, bad pass once again for the Bruins. Bushler unloading, but Oregon is there. August, quick close step. Vandewide, her own overpass. Well, that's a tough play right there. And the UCLA block picks up the stuff. Claire Felix.
Taylor Formica, big digs on the UCLA side. Carly Drolson digs that ball over, but Lindsay Vanderweide keeps that ball in play. Might have dropped out on the Oregon side.
Maybe Benson could talk to her with that overpass and say, I got it, I'm there. That was a weird looking play. Not often you see the one-handed tap for an overpass. Gill, a little bit of backspin, and that's long. Here come the Bruins, 19-17. Jim Moore, no timeout yet.
Samik Gill was high up there for Oregon, just did not get on top of that ball.
Vandewide, she is stuffed, and that ball may not have cleared the tape. Jim Moore is up. See if the timeout is in the offing. 19-18.
Jim Moore wants to do something, mixing it up.
He will switch out his middle. Samik Gill will sit down, and we will see Casey Nady once again. So a junior coming in, best blocker on the team in terms of blocks per set and total blocks. Right now, needing a little offense. There it is. So Nady off the bench, and Nady with the kill. See if she can get a couple of blocks now.
Casey Nady looks more confident than I've ever seen her look in a Duck uniform. Gets up there offensively, defensively, lots of confidence right now out of the middle.
All Pac-12 honorable mention last year for Nady. That ball a little bit outside. Coming hot to our broadcast position. No touch detected for Anderson. But it seems like for Anderson, if you'd hang the ball up inside the antenna, she'd have a little more success.
Yeah, a little more lift, a little more pace, and Jordan Anderson can put that ball away.
Sealy looking for a touch. Tough one there, as now another service error from the Ducks. Struggling with her jump serve is Lindsay Vanderweide. Vanderweide having an off night.
Well, she's going aggressive every time. She's not letting up at all. Again, I think a little higher toss will give her more time to attack that serve.
Set over, no good. And the cutback, guess who's all over it? The #1 blocker, and just back to the match, Casey Nady. Jim Moore with a good substitution.
Casey Nady, so good, but the double block right there for Oregon because there's only 2-hitter option for UCLA.
Again, UCLA missing their regular starting setter, Ryan Chandler. Nice defense. Not the second time, so back-to-back good swings. And UCLA, here it is, 22-20. How much is Oregon thinking about that number right now?
Well, I'm sure it's in the back of their head. It's been an issue all season long.
I think it's in the forefront of Jim Moore's head right now. Touch, UCLA making some plays, looking for a touch and out of bounds. No touch detected. Oregon, first chance to get off 22, does it.
Haley Lawless lays it down for UCLA. Taylor Formica keeps it alive, and Jordan Anderson tries to go aggressive off the blocker's hands, misses.
Good idea. Short serve. Cracking it through the block is Frager. 23-21. Seems like the time is now for the Bruins.
2 blockers there for Oregon, but Jenny Frager able to pound that ball through the seam. Couple good-looking sets from Zana Muno in the last couple possessions for UCLA. Some nice pace on the ball.
Bushler, Lawless, and Frager. Pretty decent front row for UCLA. Good scoring opportunity. Serve from Drolson. Frager stopped for the moment. Chevy again, and Frager picks up the block along with Lawless.
Haley Lawless did not start this match, but good job coming into the match. Her and Jenny Frager get this last block on Frankie Chevy for Oregon.
Timeout called by the Oregon Ducks. Jim Moore quick with the timeouts, over 20.
Well, I think that's a good idea, especially when you know you have to remind your team to stay focused, finish the match, and play aggressive like you have been playing the most of this set.
All right, Full Court Fridays, they're back. Join our crew for 6 non-stop hours. That's what you want, a Pac-12 basketball action featuring 9 live home openers, pre- and post-game analysis, and much more. Full Court Friday tomorrow at 4 on Pac-12 Network, or watch on Pac-12 Now. And you can watch on the app free tomorrow. Don't have to have any login information whatsoever. Free coverage of Full Court Friday. Experience it on pac-12.com and also on the Pac-12 app. UCLA, of course, a glorious history in the sport of basketball. We'll be in the Wooden Center, so named for John Wooden, coming up on Sunday as UCLA will face off with Oregon State. All those championship banners hung here in Pauley Pavilion. Don't forget the volleyball national championships, 4 on the women's side. And, oh, by the way, 19 on the men's side.
19?
19. Al Skates.
Wow.
50 years, 19 national titles. John Speraw, his replacement and one-time player, looking for his first. Been trying to make some strides in that direction. Riley Bushler there. There's a good basketball crossover.
Mom Lindsay Hahn was a standout at Maricosta High School and University of Arizona. Father Judd Bushler, star basketball player at Arizona, as well as the Chicago Bulls, world champion and fantastic volleyball player.
Club volleyball player, loves playing volleyball. You can find him out at the beach, and certainly during the summers, you will find him somewhere around Southern California at the beach, and his daughter making a tremendous play there to bring UCLA even, a one-on-one stuff block for the newly inserted Riley Bushler. Welcome back.
Coach Judd Bushler, sorry.
Did they get rid of Mike Sealy already?
No, Judd Bushler coaches a lot of these girls at a club in San Diego.
23 all. Timeout, Oregon. Second timeout. Let's look back at Riley Bushler here.
Good reach in by number 3 for UCLA. It's crunch time.
So UCLA with this block tied at 23 all. Boy, if you're on the Oregon side, how do you keep your team calm when this has happened so many times throughout the year?
You got to keep playing. You got to keep fighting. You know, it happens, but you have to find a way out of it. I don't think they're thinking about it. I really don't.
UCLA looking calm and focused, confident.
Emotionally regulated.
Emotionally regulated.
According to their coach.
The sociology majors. So UCLA back to the floor. Bushler still in the front row, along with Frager and Lawless. That same front row has brought UCLA back with some good work at the net. Mike Sealy perhaps watching his team pull out a comeback. Remember, they are 19-0 in matches this year when they've won the first set as they did, only to watch it get reversed in the second.
If you look at the stats right now, Oregon hitting .056, UCLA hitting .026. Lots of errors on both sides of the net in this particular set.
Drolson continues to serve. It's now a race to 2, win by 2. Tip picked up. Bettendorf cracks it. One-on-one, this time inside of Bushler. Set point for Oregon.
Beautiful execution, one-on-one. Martine Bettendorf shows why she leads this team in kills.
Frankie Chevy back to serve. Perfect pass from Formico. Here's Lawless with nobody up. Where's the Oregon block?
I do not know what happened there, but somebody missed their blocking assignment. Looked like Vanderweyde was cheating to help in the middle, could not get back out to the right.
Yeah, 3 hitters in the front row, not 2. Bettendorf cross court again, joust at the net. Formico covers. Vanderweyde sneaking it through the block. just off the hands of Lawless. Set point number 2 for the Ducks.
Block was there for UCLA, just didn't seal the net on the Oregon side.
Lauren Page to serve for Oregon. Here's Lawless again, and she collects another kill. So Haley Lawless did not start this match, but she finished the last 2 points of this third set.
2 big kills back-to-back from the right side. Number 4, Haley Lawless.
Richard Jr. back to serve out of Tempe, Arizona. Bettendorf this time down the line, showing range.
Great range. Taylor Formico there, Riley Bushler there. Martine Bettendorf still beats both of them.
Third set point for Oregon. New setter in now, August Raske, the freshman. Here's the lefty to serve. Poke up from Nady. And a net violation will finish it. What a poke up. Casey Nady, who came in towards the latter half of this set, made a huge difference for the Ducks. Net violation on the way down. That's Muno.
Oregon able to win another deuce set. 4-17 now.
Where champions play.
Pac-12 volleyball presented by Tachikara. Back-to-back 25-17 sets, followed up by a deuce set. This is what you wanted for entertainment on a Thursday. 27-25. Oregon up 2-1. The setting situation for both of these teams has been an interesting watch, Ollie McPeak.
Well, Maggie Scott's so good at isolating her hitters. Sets a very quick ball. Samit Gill and Frankie Chevy benefiting. And then Zana Muno pushing this ball out to Jordan Anderson for the kill. Working on her rhythm with her hitters. This is her first year running a 5-1 offense. Trying to adjust to the pace and location needed to set at this level.
Muno with 40 assists, 45 on the other side for Scott as we look at the stats through 3.
Well, Oregon creeping up, hitting .233 on the night, under their average of .242. Hitting percentage for UCLA dropped, but the key was in the last set, too many hitting errors on both sides of the net.
Well, 17 total blocks in the match, 7 of which came in that last set as we look at Samit Gill. Number 1, the young middle blocker for Oregon. Oregon coming out on the plus side finally in a deuce set situation. So this was a successful rotation for UCLA at the end of the third. They started in the fourth. Drolson will serve, front row of Bushler, Frager, and Lawless. Inside X1. Oh, that ball a little dirty on the second contact.
And you don't see that a lot from Maggie Scott. She's got such a great contact. She tried to run that fastball behind her and just kind of got her thumb stuck in it.
Now you'll notice both teams playing in long sleeves takes some of the sweat off the ball on a regular basis. There's a little communication error on Oregon's side, gives a free ball. Lawless on the right. Covered by Muno. Bushler down the line.
Zana Muno, the setter for UCLA, touching that first ball. Taylor Formico setting up Riley Bushler with the back set and kill through the block.
UCLA 2-0. Getting back to the long sleeve, short sleeve issue. What do you prefer as a player? What did you prefer?
No sleeves.
Suns out, guns out kind of a look?
No, I prefer long sleeves because of the sweat issue. There's so many girls who sweat so much indoors especially, it comes right off their arms. So for a setter, I prefer the long sleeves.
Frager dug. Bettendorf over the top. Frager unable to get there. Martine Bettendorf collects another kill. Her team leading 13 kills.
Oregon doing a good job. That little tip right over the block on both pins working.
Kevin Barnett, Holly McPeak, thanks for joining us for Pac-12 Volleyball, presented by Tachikara. We've had a good one thus far. Split the first two, 25-17. Third was a deuce set, and it's been rallies like this spread throughout. Taylor Formico, another dig, and Bushler looking for the line, goes wide.
Good defense by UCLA, but not an ideal transition swing. Briley Bushler way off the net, tries to go down the line. This is that wide.
There's a nice overhead set. Lawless is dug. Vanderwide across court. Wide.
Amanda Benson, the libero for Oregon. We haven't really talked about her that much. She just does such a good job. She is everywhere. Coach Jim Moore talked about moving her to left back and what a difference that's made for his team in this match.
Bruno with the dig. Bushler stopped, going the other way. Lauren Page.
Lauren Page way over the net. Watch her press that inside hand over the net for Oregon.
Before Page had foot issues, she was a blocking force for Oregon, showing it on that play. 4-3 Ducks. Bushler. What a move by Benson, you mentioned it, but smartly cleaned up by UCLA on the overpass. Claire Felix with the kill.
Amanda Benson touches everything for Oregon. Way off the inside hand of the blocker, then Claire Felix getting another chance to put it away for UCLA.
Short serve, Benson picks it up and sets up Nady.
Benson to Maggie Scott to Casey Nady. Those are some experienced players on the Oregon side of the net, and those players are doing a good job leading the rest of these young players who are really having an impact on the program.
Backslide kill.
That's the best connection we've seen with Claire Felix all night long. That time Zanamuno put some pace on her set. Great delivery. Claire Felix puts that away.
Another player out of Colorado Springs, a vibrant community for girls volleyball at the high school level in Colorado. Felix with national team aspirations. Vanderwide, second swing. Oh, backslide, a little bit tight. You know, with the cover. The net violation. How about the back set coming from Felix?
Claire Felix at 6'6". She's got some nice hands. That ball came a little bit off the net.
It's hittable, though. Not perfect, but totally hittable.
Yes, and Jordan Anderson found a way. Net violation, Oregon.
All right, here we go, you guys.
So UCLA 6-5 as we had a ball bouncing around the sidelines. And worth pointing out that here at UCLA they play with a Wilson ball. Much of the rest of the Pac-12 plays with a Moulton. But there are different balls throughout. It's a weird situation. You play with different balls in different places, and they're wildly different as far as touch and feel.
To be perfectly honest, indoor, I did not notice a difference with balls. They all feel the same just in terms of the feel. Brand to brand. You notice a big difference?
Oh, yeah. That ball tipped out of bounds. Yeah, I think it's a weird situation given that, at least my interpretation when I was playing of different balls and how they would behave service-wise, passing-wise. Some are more lively coming off the arms, some don't spin down, some touch the block and slow down. Nothing slow about that. Unfortunately, wide right from Felix.
Great set, Claire Felix telling Zanamuno, I love that set. She just missed it by a centimeter.
Oh, that one hits the tape and stays on the Oregon side. 8-7. UCLA down 2-1. Oregon trying to avenge an earlier season loss back in October. A service.
Claire Felix, high contact point at 6-6. Clips the top of the tape and drops.
Just enough. Second one, no good from Felix. My favorite thing about Claire Felix's bio, her favorite movie, Space Jam. Really? Space Jam?
That was a cute movie.
It's a long time ago, Space Jam.
Growing up, maybe it left an impact.
Way to dig into the archives to have a favorite film. And forget the dig on the side of Oregon. Just start with the block. 10-8 up on that right-hand side. Continued excellent play from Taylor August.
Taylor August, number 7, and Lauren Page doing a good job for Oregon defensively. Big block.
August hitting 333 with 6 kills. A serve, Casey Nady. And timeout, UCLA. 11-8. Oregon looking to come into Pauley Pavilion and keep their postseason hopes alive. Could set 4 be the end of this match.
Go Bruins.
Set number 4, Oregon facing off with number 9 ranked UCLA here on Pac-12 Volleyball, presented by Tatcha Kara. We talked early on in this match, Holly McPeak, about the need for Oregon to get a victory here at UCLA to really make a statement for the postseason. Here's what they're throwing so far at the committee for an at-large bid.
Well, 12-12 record, that's 500. They want to be over that. They don't want to be on the bubble because their RPI is so low. But this is one of 5 matches that can help their cause. I think they're playing extremely well, and they have the weapons to get some more wins if they can pull this victory off tonight.
Jim Moore put together one of the weirdest schedules I've ever seen for a team. They did not play at home in Oregon until early October. It was early October before they ever had a match in their home gym. They only have 10 all season, and they've only played 6 times there right now. That ball is cracked inside by Jordan Anderson, looking more like the first set, but Oregon has only 10 home matches. They have 4 after this, all at home. They're road warriors. What's the effect of that on their team?
Well, I guess battle tested on the road. I don't know why they didn't have more at home. Lauren Page again out of the middle. So athletic. I just feel like every time Oregon's got 3 nice, viable offensive options.
Yeah, this 6-2 seems to be a huge positive change for Oregon, having seen them earlier in the season when they were trying to have Martine Bettendorf go all the way around. She was hitting out of the back row. Had more players involved, another setter who wanted to be involved. Here's Bettendorf on the block once, but not twice. Inside goes Haley Lawless.
Haley Lawless with her 3rd kill for UCLA. Been splitting time with Kyra Rogers on the opposite.
Out goes Anderson. In comes Bushler. Good touch. Bushler's available outside. Said it's right side to Lawless, who goes high and deep into the corner. Haley Lawless collects another kill.
Back-to-back kills again. We said that earlier in the match. I believe that was in the last set, but Coach Michael Seeley said at times Haley Lawless dominating our practice gym.
5 for 13, approaching 350 percentage. No errors, no blocks. Prager with the set. Bushler managed swing. Oh, fast to the outside, but low. Mike Seeley wanting a call. He won't need it.
Good decision to run in the middle. Jenny Frager getting on top of that one for kill number 6.
Mike Seeley asking Kent Kitade for a call on that second contact, and he would know. All-American as a setter. Professional player for a number of years. A serve for Drolson, as this appears to be the best scoring rotation for UCLA. Drolson with the ace, but a big block up front to go with it.
Absolutely. UCLA, nice size block at the net, and Carly Drolson serving a ball that's just dropping in front of the passers.
So it's timeout UCLA, 11-8 Oregon. Now it is 13-12 UCLA with the lead, and it's timeout Oregon.
UCLA still down offensively, hitting 120 in this set with 5 hitting errors. Oregon hitting 235 with only 1 hitting error.
After tonight, UCLA will face Oregon State on Sunday. Then they will go to the Arizonas, be at SC, and then host Stanford the Friday after Thanksgiving. Let's take a look back at that questionable set Mike Seeley wanted to call. His team ends up getting the point, but what's questionable about this one?
Well, you see the spin on the ball. Just the ball was double contacted on the set.
Now coming back the other way, the kill for Frager.
And then Carly Drolson serving that ball that just drops at the end, actually behind the passer.
Mentioned what UCLA has remaining in this season. They have 5 to go. Oregon just 4 after this one. They played USC already this week. Lost yesterday 3-0. They have 4 home matches remaining. They will host Washington State, Washington, who's ranked number 3, and then they will have Arizona State and Oregon State to finish out the year.
Nice to be able to finish at home, get in the gym, be able to practice and not spend all those days traveling.
Oregon and Jim Moore inside the top 25 for much of this year. As we take a look at the rankings quickly, USC in there at number 2. You see a good Pac-12 presence. Stanford, UCLA, and Washington in there. Arizona State losing tonight to Colorado. Of course, Arizona State suffering the loss of Macy Gardner mid-season. Their all-time kills leader. She no sooner got the record than her career was over with a knee injury.
The next match. Unbelievable.
13 all, Anderson 15 kills, but hitting 147. She's cooled off a bit, but Haley Lawless has been heating it up. Van de Weyde off the block of Lawless.
Oregon running lots of double quicks and fastball out to Van der Weyde, able to tool the block of UCLA.
Pushed away from Frager is dug by Benson. And another set violation against Maggie Scott. That's 3 that I can remember in this match. That's a large number from Scott.
It is. Amanda Benson doing such a great job left back digging the ball.
Could some of that be the cover on that ball? This is not a ball she normally gets, that Wilson. Net violation call on that joust.
Lauren Page got that on the follow through, trying to hit that ball for Oregon.
He saw a lot of argument from Oregon. I didn't see Page making too much noise. Clearly, the follow through of Page. Good dig by UCLA, Lawless. Right side, another joust ball. Tight to Bushler. UCLA can't cover. Bettendorf will get credit for the block. 15 all. Now it's set to 10.
Bettendorf gets all of that ball on the right side for Oregon.
Get up, get up! Side.
And a miss by Bushler. So 10 blocks apiece for these two teams in this match. Mike Seeley making a couple of changes. Bushler, who has not played.
She hasn't been practicing.
Has not practiced. She's a little bit off, hitting in negative territory. 2 kills on 14 with 4 errors. So in comes Jessica Namo, and out goes the serve of Oregon. Yeah, Bushler breathing hard on the sideline right now. Tough to come right back into match form without practice. Felix laying out. Another good touch, Namo. Felix backslide. That'll be a kill. Boy, the connection has really been there on that backslide since Claire Felix entered this match.
Delivery has been so much better, but look at this dig by Claire Felix. And then she finishes the rally cross court off 1 foot.
Pride of Lewis Palmer High School up there in Monument, the junior. Vanderweide working on the small setter out there.
Lindsay Vanderweide attacking that seam. Zana Muno puts up a decent block, but Vanderweide gets on that seam for Oregon.
Bettendorf with 14, Chevy with 11, Vanderweide with 10. 3 players in double figures for Oregon. Roll shot, that was good. Vanderweide right there. That ball never crossed. That looked like it was solidly in the tape, no call. Another backslide kill for Felix is the result. So Mike Seeley up again to argue, but his team wins the point anyway.
Claire Felix winning the last 2 points. That one does not look like it came over. But yeah, looked like a lift as well. Claire
UCLA
Felix
continuing to work. Inside, Formica with the dig. That one cracked, finds the back line. 18-18.
Number 8, Lindsay Vanderweide in transition, working hard to get outside, gets turned around. Deep kill.
I don't know if we can go LVW for Vanderweide.
It's a mouthful.
LV dub, maybe? And that ball finds its way through the block and down. August can't pick it up. UCLA with the advantage.
Jordan Anderson with kill number 15.
Anderson and Rogers, the only players in double-figure kills for UCLA. Rogers with 10. I haven't called Frankie Chevy's name in just a little while. And a cleverly done shot down the line.
Beautiful execution. That line was open because right back was coming up to dig that tip.
12 kills, 310 for number 4. Flat ball's tight, handled by Anderson. Should get another shot here. Tip again. And Nady in the back row. Middle blocker playing middle back. Anderson with heat this time. Oregon, that thing looked like a ping pong ball going around.
Oregon able to touch it. Look at this set by Taylor Formica. Back bump set. Vanderweide pops it up, and then everybody trying to stick out an arm and get it over for Oregon.
Anderson looking slightly frustrated, hitting 179. Remember, got off to that huge start. 8 kills in the first set. Overpass Frager, and it's back row. A back row violation against Oregon, 21-19. Jim Moore will use a timeout.
Good call. You don't want UCLA to get too far ahead at this point in the set.
Notice on Jim Moore's right hand there, a brace still on his pinky finger. Earlier in the year, he was casted, and he had said it was a combination of frustration and poor body movement that caused the injury. But good for Jim Moore that he's getting healthy just in time for playoffs. This is not the only match that's going on inside Pac-12 play this evening. A couple other important matches. A huge match, Washington and Stanford. How about the Huskies? 3-1.
Well, that's a big win for Washington. They are so good in Seattle. Stanford was without their standout, Haley Hodson, the freshman. We don't know why, but Washington's so dangerous in Seattle.
Colorado over Arizona State, who's still trying to cope in the post-Gardner era, and Arizona over Utah, but Utah, Adora Anai, in her sophomore season, is putting on a show.
She certainly is. That's a big win for Arizona over Utah in 5.
It seems like this time of year, it's those teams at the bottom that are having kind of an off year anyway inside Pac-12. They come back and somebody always picks off a top 5 team in the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, you're right. And I feel like there's so many teams in the Pac-12 that are dangerous that can do that. You cannot relax.
Utah nearly did it tonight against Arizona. Arizona, another team that you could consider on the bubble. I know Dave Rubio and the crew concerned about their RPI. Should they not finish high enough inside the Pac-12? But the bottom line for the last couple weeks is win and you're in. Just keep winning to make your case. Oregon trying to do that tonight. They win this set, it would be huge as far as their playoff aspirations. August cross court is good. Oregon's within one.
What an angle by Taylor August, number 7. Super sharp. Ball kind of set a little bit behind her. That is pretty impressive angle.
August to the sidelines. Maggie Scott back in. That ball is blocked. I think that was into the tape, but Lauren Page was there anyway.
Jenny Frager likes to go cut back. Lauren Page there waiting for Oregon.
A set to 4. Cut back again, Scott digs it. Now there's the wrist away.
Good wrist away. I like that decision. Oregon playing her cutback. They know that's Jenny Frager's favorite. Good adjustment by number 10.
22-21. Jessica Namo back in. This has been a good scoring rotation with Jolson at the line. Jim Moore, last minute instructions to his team. Shot wide. Double quick. Missed. UCLA up by 2.
Martine Bettendorf came in so strong, had an impossible angle to hit. Taylor Formica standing there, ready for that ball.
Jim Moore out of timeouts. He's a passenger. Quick to the outside. Chevy stuffing it through the ball.
Haley Lawless, Jenny Frager, good chance to block that ball for UCLA. Didn't happen.
Chevy to serve. Van de Weyde up front along with Bettendorf. Good scoring rotation in transition for the Ducks. Namo sneaking it through the hands. What a break for the Bruins. Set point 1 UCLA.
Jessica Namo has been so solid, filling in for Riley Bushler on the outside.
Tough serve. Benson pops it up. UCLA was ready to celebrate. Covered. That ball is too tight. And that's over. Back row attack. Set point number 2 coming for the Bruins. Sealy has 1 timeout. Oregon has none. Benson to serve. Oh, that ball way off the net. Van de Weyde is rejected. Lawless and Felix, neither of whom started this match. They finished the 4th set. Our 2nd consecutive deuce set.
Big block by Haley Lawless. UCLA needed that big time.
25-17, 25-17, deuce set, deuce set. We're going 5, and don't be surprised if it's overtime. Volleyball presented by Tachikara on a Thursday night, giving you all you can handle between these two teams. Oregon and UCLA tied at 2 sets apiece, and both teams blocking fairly well. UCLA with a slight advantage, 11-10, and it was that last one that finished off the 4th set.
Well, it's a timely block by Haley Lawless to end it. The play before, she got beat, and Jessica Namo, number 22, on the other side doing a good job.
That was Riley Bushler, who we saw for a little while, made a good one-on-one move. As we look at the 5-set records of these two teams, you notice UCLA, boy, they're not really into going 5. Only one other time this season for Oregon, 3-2, a winning record, but those deuce sets have continued to be sort of a problem for them.
Well, Jim Moore is keeping track for Oregon, but I'm following up. They are now 4-18 in deuce sets on the season.
5th set will be played to 15 points. Oregon playing for their playoff lives. This would be a huge win to make the case that the Oregon Ducks belong in the postseason once again. These two teams on the national stage, UCLA winners in 2011, Oregon national runner-up in 2012. You remember some of those names: Elena Bergsma, Liz Brenner, Lauren Plum, Ariana Williams, Kanace Finley, all members of that squad, all gone. Really the only holdover from that time, Martine Bettendorf. No one thinking about that right now. Here we go. The same first server we've seen for Oregon. Maggie Scott, the setter, will get us started. Set 5. Kevin Barnett, Holly McPeak here from Pauley Pavilion. Kill Jordan Anderson. That's how this match started, with Jordan Anderson being hot offensively for the Bruins.
And Jenny Frager, middle blocker, steps in and passes that short ball. Jordan Anderson gets a well-located ball on the right side and the kill.
One kill and off to the bench.
Here we go.
In rotation
Watch tape.
goes Jordan Anderson. Stand in as Munich. Page passes it tight, but gets the kill. Good. Oregon is a frightening team moving forward with the sophomores and freshmen that are playing so well on their side.
I agree, and Coach Jim Moore excited about his recruits coming in. Lots of great athletes wearing green and gold.
If you've been up there to see the facilities, you know that's a leg up. Over the top and out of bounds.
Jessica Nama going very sharp angle, just missing that wide.
Back, first ball, Amanda. First ball, baby.
So Oregon actually up 2-1. That one initially signaled one way and then moved back the other, as that ball was determined to be wide. Tight set here, poked over the top. Bettendorf not getting enough of it. Tied at 2. Formic go to serve. Tip over the top, and the tips have been falling for the Ducks.
Well, on both pins, Oregon runs such a fastball out to the pin. The defenders way back, and Zanamuno can't get there for UCLA.
Benson will step back to serve both liberos over 20 digs. Cut back, Muno with the dig. Benson with another. Nady.
Great dig.
Double!
That one out of bounds, and Mike Seeley wanted a call on that one too. The former setter saying, can't set with those hands.
I didn't think that one was as bad, but UCLA off the hook.
Right back, right back. Watch this.
With the hitting there, they had a chance to put that ball away and missed.
I think Chowder could be the call on that one. Casey Nady, cutback kill, smartly done past Felix.
Casey Nady has been solid for Oregon, 4 for 9 out of the middle. 0 errors.
Nady at the net, along with August and Vanderweyden. Blocked but covered. Smartly done. Taylor August with some touch.
Taylor August has fantastic range, number 7 in green. Good high, quick arm, finding the middle. Wide open.
First ball, Amanda.
Backslide Felix, that's been good, but not this time. No backspin at all. That thing coming off almost flat. 6-3 Ducks. For Mike Seeley, how much further can you let this go?
They need this side out.
No, that made it easy.
Mike Seeley has a lot of confidence in this team. They're patient, mature.
10 service errors now for Oregon. Mike Seeley pretty even keel throughout this entire match on the sidelines. Nice inside block move from Anderson.
Beautiful solo block. Jordan Anderson way up and over.
Right back, right
Casey
back, right
Nady.
back.
12 blocks now for the Bruins.
That's why he's so calm, though.
Tip over the top. This time the pancake is good. Rolls shot inside, unable to be handled. That ball counted as up for the moment. Oregon yells enough. That one was down.
That ball definitely hit the floor.
Taylor Schlenner laying out in the middle of that rally, getting the pancake, finally covering a tip. The redshirt freshman out of Yorba Linda at just 5'2".
Covering a lot of ground, flying out of the backcourt. Beautiful.
Schlenner with another dig. Ball inside. Excellent hitter coverage from UCLA. Schlenner with another, but not enough. The Oregon block prevails. 8-5. They lead in set 5. So Oregon looking for a split on the season. It would be away victories for both teams. Seesaw battle here in Pac-12 volleyball, presented by Tachikara on a Thursday evening. Kevin Barnett and Holly McPeak sitting courtside enjoying the maximum amount of volleyball possible as we find ourselves in a 5th set with Oregon leading 8-5. This is not all the volleyball we have planned for you on the weekend. Oregon State will come in to visit UCLA. It'll be Sunday at 11 from the nearby Wooden Center here on campus. You can hashtag Pac-12VB right now or on Sunday whenever you want to get in the conversation. You can watch that match on Sunday on Pac-12 Oregon or on Pac-12 Now and Pac-12.com. Mike Sealy and his UCLA Bruins in a 5-set match for just the 2nd time all season.
The numbers right now, UCLA struggling offensively, .077 in this 5th set. Oregon more efficient, hitting 206 for 15.
Ugly numbers for a team that started out hitting so well in the beginning part of this match. In fact, siding out at 83% in that 1st set, a number that has been on the decline. Backslide declared Felix. Nothing declining about that particular play. Felix has become a factor quickly in this match. 6 kills now on 13 attempts. Oregon trying to nurse a lead home here, leading by 2. Chance to side out. Service of Felix, already 1 ace. Chevy through the seam.
Frankie Chevy blasting that quick set outside through the big UCLA hole in the block.
14 kills for number 4, one of 3 ducks in double figures. Chevy and Bettendorf each with 14. Bettendorf has 5 blocks to go along with that. Trying for a touch, no go. Anderson with the error, Oregon 5 points away. And Mike Sealy burns a timeout.
Well, Jordan Anderson in some tough spots trying to find a way to put it away. Use those blockers' hands out of bounds, just missing. Right now it's about running a more efficient offense for UCLA.
A negative performance so far in this set for UCLA in the hitting side of the game. Take a look at this last swing, and this is a set from Formico. We've seen that a few times. Side spin, backspin, not a clean contact. It seems like you need to keep her on her right shoulder.
I think she's better on her right shoulder. Even if you err a little bit inside, she'll get her feet there and hit a pretty hard angle.
Jordan Anderson was an ABC honorable mention All-American last year. A kid who, like Mao in Arizona, was a stellar soccer player. At the age of 15, started to pick up some volleyball. It's something about the soccer-volleyball connection.
I was soccer volleyball as well, but you know, it's funny, we were talking about Jordan Anderson and her knee pads. Her mom says she just wears them because she has to. She's a throwback soccer player.
Thanks, Mom, for clearing that up via Twitter.
Thank you for that
appreciate
information.
Yeah, Anderson, look at that, 4.77 kills per set. That is a big deal. Step right into the Pac-12 and play the way she has.
Huge. What a great transfer for UCLA.
And UCLA will get her for another season, but forget that. The business is now for the Bruins. Anderson right back. There it is.
Beautiful location. Jordan Anderson likes that set, and you see what she does with it.
Mike Sealy saying the focus for right now, since he figures they're already in the playoffs, he said think about what you want to work on right now so that when it comes to playoffs, when this season is over, when we're 2 weeks from now into the beginning of the playoffs, where do you want to be at that point? What do you need to do now to be at the point you want to be when we start the postseason and a run to a potential championship?
Execution is key right now. This time of year, you want to be able to execute.
Oh, nice set by the freshman.
Yeah, great set by Zana Munoz. Sometimes she has the rhythm perfect. Sometimes she struggles, but this is fantastic.
Which is more important of the two, selection or location?
Watch tape. Watch tape.
Location.
Had both on that play, did Zana Munoz. Chevy Doug, with the defense now. More defense in that right back. Chevy, tip, not this time. Chevy trying to come inside, did not get the ball on the outside. It's Bettendorf on the right. 12-8 Ducks.
Martine Bettendorf leads this team with almost 4 kills per set. Big time tool on the block there.
Good energy from Oregon, who is playing for the second time in consecutive nights. They're 3 points away from an LA split. Set Formico. Deep corner. No good by Namo. A commanding 13-8 advantage has Mike Sealy using his second timeout. Jim Moore has to be feeling good. His team leads by 5.
Oregon hitting 227, UCLA hitting 0.
UCLA has a lot of work to do here. They're going to have to hope to prey on some of the nerves that Oregon has experienced late in sets.
Out of system play, Zana Munoz digging a lot of balls, so it's a non-setter setting the hitters for the kill. This time, Jessica Namo hits that ball long. One of the great things about having a strong defender as your setter is she's digging a lot of balls, keeping it alive. But the important thing is that somebody else has to step in and put up a good hittable ball for her teammates.
Out of Hermosa Beach, California, really, and the way she moves shows some beach game to her. It looks like some of that all-around ability to play.
Zana Munoz grew up playing beach volleyball. She's represented the United States overseas in the junior championships, and she's got a bright future on the beach, but right now her goal is indoors.
The defense in this set coming from the back court. No blocks for either team. Blocks have kind of come in streaks. UCLA leading 12-10 in that category, but we saw 7 in one set between the two teams. Oregon trying to close out the Bruins. No more timeouts for Mike Sealy. That tip rejected. Oregon set point number 1.
Lauren Page, fantastic block at the net in the middle.
Oregon bench ready to rush the court. Van de Weyden, not yet. Set point, match point number 2. Oregon with plenty of breathing room, 5 points. Van de Weyden in the front row, Bettendorf. Who do you go? Where do you go?
Bettendorf.
On the right. Nope, middle, long. Would have been tough to go to Bettendorf on that one.
It was. That ball passed a little tight. Good set, nice looking attempt. Page just did not get on top of that ball.
14-10. Still plenty of room for Oregon. The third match point will be upcoming. Everything starts with the pass. Pass kind of dictating the set, perhaps.
Well, this ball passed a little tight, but I thought Maggie Scott did a great job putting up a hittable ball. Paige just does not snap her wrist on top of that ball for Oregon.
Oregon hitting 125 in this set, but UCLA negative 45.
You can't do that in the fifth set, and that's one of the things I think UCLA will go back and look at, especially preparing for the NCAA tournament. You need to be sharp in the fifth set.
Give you a little comparison between a couple of hitters. Frankie Chevy hitting 324, having an excellent night, 14 kills. On the other side, Jordan Anderson, who started 8 of 9, 19 kills, but a 182 mark currently.
Well, Frankie Chevy on the season hits 152. That's her average. Jordan Anderson, 243. So one's way above their average. Jordan Anderson under hers in terms of hitting percentage.
11 errors for Anderson, but we've seen her trying to clean up a lot of situations out there on that left-hand side. It has not been easy. This last point proving not to be easy for the Oregon Ducks. Jordan Anderson looking on, as is Frankie Chevy. Formico to serve. Her team needs some points. Quick to the outside and through. Another point for the Bruins. Fourth match point in the offing for Oregon.
Good location, and then Jessica Namo on the left side powers it through.
One timeout remains for Jim Moore, should he need it. Bettendorf. Bettendorf with the dig. Should get the tough set. And blasted through the block again by Namo. 14-12.
A lot of good defensive plays happening for UCLA right now. Jim Moore wants to stop it.
A fifth match point after this timeout. Both coaches using both their timeouts in the fifth. Wow, the Oregon Ducks continuing to have problems closing. Don't they know? ABC, always be closing.
Well, they had some good looks, some nice chances. UCLA's fighting hard defensively.
Looking for a sales major or something in here for Oregon. I see some nursing majors, some sociology. Need some closing skills. Talk some people into some deals here. Oregon Ducks 1 point away, as they have been for the last 5 points of this match. Take a look back. Couple of great swings by Jessica Namo.
Jessica Namo, little space, little seam in that block, able to beat Amanda Benson, one of the best liberos in the conference.
Namo into double figures, 10 kills, 3 players now. Formico continues to serve. Oregon taking their time getting back on the floor. UCLA already out and ready. See if Formico can continue to put a little pressure on the Ducks while keeping the ball in. Match point number 5. UCLA needs 2. Vando wide, opportunity Bruins. Another chance for the Bruins. Lawless, better swing this time. Bettendorf, finally. An honest explosion of emotion there after 5 match points.
Huge win for this Oregon volleyball program, who knew they needed to come away with a win on this Los Angeles trip.
A lot of emotion built up towards the end of this match. And let out right there by the senior. It was a long wait for these young women to charge the court.
Unranked Oregon beats number 9 UCLA in 5 sets. That's a big deal.
Maybe Oregon crawls their way back into the AVCA top 25 coming up. And for the UCLA Bruins, they have to go back in action again on Sunday. What do they need to do better come Sunday?
Execute, especially in the 5th set. I think they can be a lot more clean offensively, less hitting errors for sure.
5 to go for UCLA. Oregon returns home with 4 matches remaining on their schedule, all home matches. Hugs all around from some former players for Jim Moore. The Oregon Ducks victorious in 5. 15-12 in the 5th. You got all you can handle on a Thursday night out of Pac-12 volleyball presented by Tachikara. For my partner, Holly McPeak, and our entire stellar Pac-12 production crew, I am Kevin Barnett saying good night and goodbye from Pauley Pavilion, where the Oregon Ducks kept their postseason hopes alive.